All right, in this tutorial, we are going to learn how to play Blessed Assurance for the piano. So now let's jump right into it. I'm going to take you note by note and chord by chord and then show you exactly how to play this piece. So as I always do with all my tutorials, I will go really slow and explain each note and the best finger to play it with. And I'll also stop after a couple measures so that you can actually learn how to play the song in sections. So the first thing we need to know about the song real quick is that we're going to play this piece in the key of D major. So a lot of our melody notes and chord tones are going to have F sharp and C sharp. That's what you're going to see in the beginning there in the key signature. Those two sharps are telling you it's in D major. Most importantly, meaning we have an F sharp and a C sharp. Anytime we see the note F or C anywhere in the music, it is a sharp. Now, the other thing to note about this piece is it's in 9/8 time, which means the feeling of this song is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, the actual way we count 9 beats in a measure is 3 groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3. So that's the feel this piece is going to have. So let's jump right into it. The opening melody is going to start like this. And I'm going to put my thumb on D, pinky on A. So first finger on D, fifth finger on A. And the melody is going to start by doing F sharp, E, D, A, A. Now when you land on the A, that first time, our left hand's going to play a D major chord, D, F sharp, A. And then the next A will hit by itself. So it's like this. All right, so that's that opening line. Now what we'll need to do is get our third finger into the G here so that we can play G, A, B, A. So that's going to be the next melody. Now when we hit the G, we need to do a G chord. So we're going to do an inversion of a G chord in our left hand, which is going to be D, G, and B. So that will hit with the G, and then we do A, B, and when we return to A, we also return to the D chord. That's just a classic 1-4-1 in the key of D. So let's just try that new part all together. And now let's put together everything we have so far. That is the opening couple measures there. Now, I always say with all my tutorials, make sure you can pause the video and practice what we are doing first and get this section comfortable before you move on. So feel free to pause, but if you're ready to continue, right after we land on the A with the D chord, our melody is going to do A, F sharp, A. Now, when I do this melody, I'm going to go with my ring finger on A, or whatever finger's there, my second finger on F sharp, and then I'm going to tuck my thumb to the A so I can reposition my hand to get up to the melody note of D. So that melody is going to go A, F sharp, A, D. Now when we land on the D, we're also going to hit a D chord again. Like that. So the new part. Then our next melody note is a C sharp right here, and our left hand's going to come to an A chord, and I'm going to use the inversion of E, A, and C sharp. So we're going to hit that chord with a C sharp note, then a C sharp by itself, and then we go to an E7 chord, which is E, G sharp, B, and D, and we're going to hit that at the same time as the melody note of B, and we're going to do B, A, G sharp, A. And when we land on this A here, we're going to come down and do an A7 chord, A, C sharp, E, and G. So I know we added in a lot there, so let's go over that again, starting from the A, F sharp, A. So we hit D with the D chord, C sharp with an A chord, C sharp by itself, and then with an E7 chord, B, A, G sharp, A, with an A7 chord there. So once again, you are able to pause it, rewind, and practice just this little new section we worked on, but here is everything from the beginning. Quite a little bit of a jump there in the left hand, but with some practice you can get it going nice and slow, and by using the pedal, that'll give your hand some time to get to the next chord. So that's everything so far. If you don't feel comfortable with that yet, be sure to pause it and practice, and then you can always return to the video when you're ready to move on. But the next part after that is actually almost a repeat of everything we just did. The first two measures are going to start the same just as the beginning of the song, with F sharp, E, D, A, and I play that D chord in the beginning just like we do. So F sharp, E, D, A, same thing here, G, A, B, A. And now we're gonna get to our first change right here of this second section. Well, now I'm gonna play a D7 chord. So instead of just D, F sharp, and A, I'm gonna do D, F sharp, A, and C together with a melody note of D, E, F sharp. So D, E, F sharp, G, and when I land on G, I go to that G chord we've already done, just like that. So after the song kind of starts its repeat, this is all the same as what we learned in the beginning. Now the new part, we go to the D7 chord, D, E, F sharp, G, with our G chord of D, G, B. Then we hit the melody note by itself, E, and now we have this little ending here of D, E, C sharp, D. Now on these notes, when I first hit the D, I need to come down, I'm gonna do a D chord and its inversion of A, D, F sharp. So D, E, and when I hit the C sharp, I do that A7 chord we've done before of A, C sharp, E, G, and then return right to the inversion of the D chord that we just did like that. So that little ending there is right there. So the newest part we just added is we repeat. And now here's the new part. So that's a little bit of a tricky ending there because now we hit two chords a little bit faster. Like that to end it. So let's just go over everything we've learned so far. So from the top, here it is. Once we get to there, we are going to continue right now. Once again, as always, don't feel pressure to continue. If you don't feel comfortable playing up to there yet, there's no point in adding more music to it just yet. You can always return to it when you're ready. But once we land there, we're gonna do a melody of A, and I'm gonna try and get like my middle finger or something there. And once I do A, that's gonna hit with my A7 chord. So we go right back to that A, C sharp, E, G. Like that. And then the melody goes up to a D with our D chord, D, F sharp, and A. Then melody note goes back to A. And then our melody does B, 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 and that's gonna go with our G chord we've done before, D, G, B, 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 A, as we return to our D chord there. So let's just go over that little part right there. So it starts with the A7 chord and the A. That takes us up to there. Now we only got a few more measures left. Now our next melody is A, F sharp, A, and there's no left hand there. So after the A, F sharp, A, we're gonna come to a B in our right hand, and when we hit that B, we do our G chord of D, G, B. We've done this before. And then we're gonna go up to a D in our melody, and this time we're gonna use an inversion of our D chord of F sharp, A, and D. If you can't do that inversion, just stick to the regular D chord, it'll still work. So we hit that there. So just this little new part so far, A, F sharp, A, B, D. And now our melody is gonna go C sharp, B. And that's gonna hit with our E7 chord, which we've done before, E, G sharp, B, D. So C sharp, B, A. And when we land on that A, we come down to our A7 chord and hit those together. All right, so let's just take a look at that little bit of a new part, and then we'll put our two newest parts together. So we have So now let's just put our two newest parts together. So we have now we are getting very close to the ending. The last thing we do here, our melody is going to do by itself, C sharp, D, E, D. And as we land on that D, we go back to our D major chord. So C sharp, D, E, D, A, like that. So then we go with our G chord, D, G, B, 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 A, right back to our D chord. So real quick, that new part. And now we've done a similar ending to this before, but we're going to change one thing. So now, we use that D7 chord with the D, D, E, F sharp, G. This time as we land on the G chord, because we're coming to the end, I wanted to make it a little different. As we land on this G, we're going to go to a different inversion of the G chord, B, D, G. Like that, and then melody note to E. And then the same ending we did before with our A, D, F sharp, D, E, switch to our A7 chord, C sharp, D. Now there's two endings here. Because there's two verses in the song, if you wanted to play the whole song with both verses, you would follow the first ending here and then play that little opening melody and go back to the first measure and play the whole song again. And then on the second time, you'd come to the second ending, which just hits and holds the D like that. So we're not going to go over the whole thing because it's the exact same I just taught you. You would just play it twice and then the second time go to the second ending. So let's make sure we understand that whole new part here. So starting from the C sharp, D, E, D with the D chord, A with the G chord, B, 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 A, back to the D chord, then our D7, D, E, F sharp, G with B, D, G in our left hand, and then E, and then the ending we did before, D, E, C sharp, D. So that is the whole piece right there. We are going to play it from the beginning all the way to the end. I'm not going to do the first ending, just the second ending. So here it is from the top. That is the whole piece right there. So as I mentioned continuously throughout the piece, I hope I didn't annoy you, but it is so important anytime you're learning a song to break it down into sections. Don't keep being like, okay, I get it, I want to move on. Make sure you really understand and can play the part before it well. Playing a whole entire song is like putting together a puzzle, piece by piece, and then it connects. And as you keep connecting all the pieces together, by the end, you'll see the whole puzzle. And it's the same thing with the piece of music. So take your time on this and just work through each part, pause and rewind as many times as you need. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have other requests, please always just drop a comment in the video and then I can take a look and I will get to your request as soon as I can. So be sure to subscribe to keep up with all our new lessons. I have music theory tutorials, song tutorials, lessons, so many things, reading music, unlimited lessons here at Digital Piano School. Hope to see you again soon for another lesson.